Now I know what you're thinking. This looks like a mess, but this is a 2013 Hyundai Elantra. And I've got to pull the engine out because it's wrecked. To put in that car down there, which is a mint condition 2013 Elantra. So, long story short, the other car down there blew the engine. So instead of paying $3,000 for a bare engine, you can pay $1,200 for a running and driving wrecked car, totaled out by the insurance through a towing company. So I'm going to do a little vlog type thing here and also show you guys how to remove an engine from a Elantra. This is a 1.8 liter, but it'll be essentially the same thing as a 2.0, but I'll try to do my best to document it. And excuse the mess. I just finished an engine and transmission swap and haven't had time to pick up the extra parts and stuff. It's just the way she goes. But without further ado, I thought that was broke for a second. Let's get this underway. We're going to we're just going to get the top stuff off, battery out, air box, cover, rad hose. I may see about getting this front support off. It's completely just, I'd say there's no refrigerant in it, I would say so. Looks like this is just held on by a couple bolts. Looks like a 13 and maybe a 10 here on each side. May try to pull the headlights out as well and see something about this core support too, if this will unbolt. I don't know. I may just cut it with a sawzall or something, but I'll get a few little things off. You can have just your regular fill up for your air box, and there's a 10 down here, 10 for your battery terminals, just a channel locks for your radiator hose, and I'll get back with you guys in a minute. Oh, there's one more here for the air box. I'm trying to do the best camera work I can for you guys. There actually might be one inside too. Think about that. Let's see if we can pull this off here. Yep. That's a good filter. There is not. Oh, I bet it's a grommet down there. I have to set you guys down and use both hands for this. Okay, got the air box off. There was another 10 right here. I didn't know it. It's kind of hidden. Battery out. Breather hose off. This one PCV valve hose. Let's get this top cover off. Just pull straight up. Just got little push pins on it, or you see right there. Yep. Might as well get this hood off too. Out of my way. Clean. This engine only has 86,000 miles. It's a shame. Okay, I'm just going to get, let's get this off. Okay, oh, it's blurry. There we go. Come on, focus. Okay, after you get your radiator hose off, your top radiator hose, I'm going to have a little sensor here. Just push pin. Now, so I have to take my gloves off. Didn't really necessarily want to get dirty, but it's whatever. Same thing with this one. Can't see it, but just push it in, push the tab. Wow. I'll just set you guys down. Okay, I went ahead. It's so blurry. Okay, went ahead and got this part of the breather housing off. It's right here. Just got these Phillip head push pins. I have just a couple sensors here. Disconnect all your injectors from your harness. We'll go ahead and get the fuel rail out of the way. Here's a connector here. Just any electrical you see, you're going to have to unplug, obviously. I'll have to get that off. So I'll just work on getting a few things off, and I'll give you guys an update. I'm going to get the coil connectors off right there, and just a few little sensors, you know, like this right here and this one. Go ahead and remove these two coolant hoses, coolant bypass hoses. This sensor, these two. Get this hose out of the way, and you'll have your timing sensor back here on the back. I'll work on getting a few of these sensors done, and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, quick little update. Got the coils undone, fuel rail off, out of the way. So these little cam timing, cam phasers here, how you get them off is this little clip. So it goes in from the bottom. So just get you a little flat screwdriver and pry this clip down. Be careful, don't drop it. I'll try to demonstrate for you guys right here. If I don't drop it, okay, it just comes right down, out, right off. I'll get back with you guys in a minute. Okay, right back here above the thermostat housing, you're going to have a engine block ground. So if I get in there and show you guys, it's a little hard to see. It's right here, coming off the main harness here. Man, that's kind of hard to see. Yep, you can see it right there. See that little 10 millimeter bolt right there? That's your ground. I'll get that off. Oh, it's got a 13 on it. Now with the right size socket, this comes right out. You're going to have 3 hoses. One is here, goes there. It's just these little clips. Just grab you a pair of pliers. You're going to have one here that goes to the throttle body, and another one right beside of it. Okay, this little step here is not 100% necessary, but considering that this car will never drive again because it's obviously totaled, I'm just taking any part off that would make it easier to work on anything. Plus, I have to take this stuff off anyways. So the throttle body is just 4 10 millimeter bolts. We discussed the 2 coolant hoses. Just 4 bolts. Plug in. Comes right off. See, there's a couple plug-ins here. Go ahead and get this one off. Gotta get a screwdriver for that one. I'm trying to do the best camera work I can for you guys. comes right out. Okay, I'll work on getting this hose off here. It goes to this little canister sensor. This hose off, and O2 sensor back here. And I'll start taking these, looks like 12 millimeters for the intake. And we'll have one bracket bolt down there. It's a 12 as well. You cannot see it. You have to get it from the bottom, but I'll show you guys it's down there. Okay, I got this sensor here off. These two hoses. So get this loose here. Just pull straight off. PCV. Sometimes you can take it. Watch out, it's plastic, but you can take these little not sensors, but hoses. If they're stuck, lightly grab it, and there it is. You can just wiggle it off. Use itself for its own advantage. There you go. It's probably against itself, really, and not the plastic. I think I'm going to try to get this core support out, so I may pull these headlights. This one's pretty loose, so looks like they're 10s. I'll give that a go here. 13. Looks like there's a plug here. Just push down. Save this bolt. And these right angles are so nice. Let's see here. Yep. That's actually a good part, so I'll save that. Pile of parts. And my chair that I take breaks in. It's actually my son's gaming chairs. The roller broke off on it. I'm showing my hand and not the chair. Dumb. The roller broke off on it. So instead of throwing it away, why not just sit it out here in the shop and just sit on it, you know? Why not? Okay, let's get this other headlight off. Put the 13 up top. There's a 10 down here. 2 10s on this one. One of them must have been broke on the other one. I don't know if I'll keep it now or not. Can't sell broken stuff. I try to save every little bolt I can, but I work on so much stuff. If I saved everything, I wouldn't have any room left. Right? Okay. Should just slide right out. Oh man, that one's a little cracked too, although we'll see. We'll post it discounted or something. No problem. Still good headlights. Let's see what we got here. Looks like there's a few. Looks like maybe 12s here. A few 12s. That's probably from the wreck. Yeah, we'll try to get the 10s. Hood release. Somebody's been patching. Looks like there's a bolt here. You can see it there. It looks like a 10. Right there. Yep. I'll update you guys in a minute. Okay, you're going to have a couple hidden 13s back here. Backside. You're going to have your top hose bracket bolted to your hood release. And how you get your hood release, your hood cable is, you just pull straight out, take the cable, just pull it out. You can see right there where it goes back in and clips in here. You take your cable out of the way and grab this and pitch it to the cauls. That one's tight. Okay. Let's see. That plastic's coming off, so I don't need to get that off. Let's see. This is all loose now, minus the AC lines here, but I'll check for pressure and take the appropriate measures for that. Let's work on getting this radiator hose off. I'll get back to you guys. Okay, there was another 12 here, or not 12, but 13. And core support comes out. This whole rad assembly swings out. You have one plug here for your fan relay, and radiator hose, transcooler lines. So let's get this intake off. So this bracket bolt I was talking about is actually right here. Have to get that off. A few sensors, oil pressure sensor. Let's work on getting the starter off. This is also a 13, just a regular push connector. Let's get this bracket off. It's a 10. That goes your crank sensor. Let's get the crank sensor unplugged. Yeah, just we'll get all the sensors done here, and brackets and this, that, and the other. A few sensors here. It's that one's simple. You'll have your AC sensor for your clutch over here. And let's get this bracket off here. And these other, actually I'll just already have it ready. I'll just go ahead and do it. Unless it's, okay. Hear about them bolts in a minute. Okay, I'm going to get these clips off for the wires, and I'll get back to you guys in a second. Okay, with all the bolts took off and connections and wiring harness, pull straight out. I need both hands for this. Pull straight out. Okay, starter time, alternator time. I'm gonna have 12 or 13 here. Looks like a 14 or 15 for these two bolts here. This is the starter. 14 mil for the starter bolts. Again, right angle. $13 for the positive. Right out. Okay, so correction, guys. I'm sorry. I thought this whole time I'd been using a 13, but it's been a 12. So all the bolts that I said 13 are 12s. But anyways, let's get this alternator off. So you have this adjustment here. So there'll be 112 that goes in this way. Just undo that. This big long 12 that goes from the top. Just pull that out, and it pulls right out. You have one more, looks like a 14 here. Okay, with that 14 loose, you're able to pull the bell off. Let's get the AC off. There'll be 12s. Yep, 12s. I'm gonna have to get the big boy out, I guess. I've already checked. There's nothing in this AC system because when it was wrecked, it punctured the condenser and messed it up. So don't have to worry about messing the ozone layer up with Freon. So they say. Just wiggle and it comes right out. See, your bird's just broke right there. Okay. This one you can pull on out. This hose is not worth anything. It's cracked there from the wreck, so we'll trash that. Grab a snap-on for that. And I'll get back to you guys. Okay, 3 bolts for the AC pump out. It comes off. 2 12s for your thermostat housing. See your thermostat there. This is junk. Actually, I may save this housing, but this hose is junk. I'll actually need to save these nuts here for that housing, because those are fine thread. Okay, let's finish this 14 off, and let's see what that is. Snap-on ratchet with Matco sockets. You can tell 2 different pull trucks pull the hill. Or running around here, I should say. So we'll get this bolt out. Probably have to take this engine mount off, this front engine mount. Actually, it'll come right out with that. So grab this little mini pry bar. Just get behind it here, give it a good pry out. Now you can pull and it comes right out. Okay, next let's try to tackle the exhaust. So there's going to be a heat shield back here. There's going to be 3 rusty 10mm bolts. One's here, one is there, one is there. Take them off. This pulls out of your way. Of course, this one will get hung in the process of me showing you. It'll come right out with some finessing. It's got hung on something down here. Now this camera work sucks. I'm sorry, guys. Yep, comes right out. Trash. Okay, feels like there's going to be... it feels like 10s. I don't want to say 10s, but it honestly feels like 10s. See if you guys can see that. Yeah. I'll get it off here and tell you guys the actual size. If it really is a 10, I'll be surprised. Usually they're 12s or something, but we'll see. Okay, we're going to be going underneath the vehicle now. I got the top done. The exhaust, in fact, was 12s. They were tight as hell. So we need to get the torque converter loose, which is the main priority here. So let's get this to get a good. Give me a second to get a few things situated here, guys. Okay, sorry about that, folks. So we need to get this access panel off here. Looks like it's going to be 14 right there, so we can get to the torque converter bolts. That would serve as a double purpose for a bell housing bolt. And you can see there's one torque converter bolt. That looks like a 18. Oh, and we're going to have a engine mount here. We're pretty close. Let's get at it. It's going to be, get that out of the way. It's broke anyway. It'll be bell housing bolt here, bell housing bolt here, here. There's going to be one up top above the axle. You can't see it, but you might can. Nope. And there's going to be exhaust bracket bolt here, and then there. All right, let's get all these bolts out, and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, for the torque converter, it's going to be 18 on the torque converter side, and for the crank pulley side, it's going to be a 22. Let's pop these out. Okay, torque converter is loose. There was 4 bolts for the torque converter, 4 18s. Let's get this mount off right here. It looks like a 18 as well, right there, and maybe a 14 here. Let's get it off. Okay, to get the exhaust off, as we discussed, we took the 12s off, and they were 14s for a bracket on the bottom that I showed you, and there was another bolt here, right there. So now that the exhaust is off, we can get this bell housing bolt that is right here. It's way down there, but we can get it off. It's also a 14. There's a bell housing bolt there, and this one's going to be the last one. And then we have, we got the brace down there. I already got it loose, just waiting. And then we have this front engine mount. And then we should, in theory, be able to scoot it forward, take the engine out. I've done this so many times on this particular vehicle, but essentially it's all the same. But we will see. Looks like there's enough clearance there, about an inch and a half. That should clear the bell housing. Yeah, it should clear. I may have to zip that crank pulley bolt out though, and maybe the water pump pulley. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. More to come. Okay, after you finish getting all your bell housing out, remember that one that was back there, right there. You can see the hole there above the axle. And we had one here and one here. After you get all of them out, over here is going to be your front mount. There's going to be 16s on the top here for this bracket. I already went ahead and took it off. It's going to sit like that. They're just 16s, 2 nuts, 1 bolt. Nut back here. And then these 3 are for the actual engine mount. Are going to be 15s. So you take that off. Get this AC line out of the way. And then, you're going to want to put your cherry picker in here. Get some tension on it, so whenever you take this front mount off, it's not going to fall and potentially bust your bell housing or damage your AC or anything like that. And then you grab you a pry tool. Let's see, where did mine go? I set it down here somewhere. Oh, right here. And you just get your bell housing loose. Make sure everything's clear, hoses, and then you just pull it on out. Let's get this hose out of the way. And she'll just come right out. It's kind of hard to pull this thing back with one hand. Ugh. You just gotta finesse it here. I may have to put the camera down and do this. I can't do it with one hand. I'll be right back. So after a little bit of finessing, you can see the engine is out. There was... No, I already got that on footage. Okay. Let's see, walk over here. Had to take loose this bracket here for the high pressure AC line so I could get it out of the way for the water pump pulley. And then you just pull it back. There we go. That's how you remove an engine, a 1.8 or 2.0 liter Kia Hyundai Elantra. I took the top valve cover off because I didn't want to risk cracking it. Those things are a little expensive if you buy new. See, this is a pretty clean engine, really. There's a little bit of sludge. Make sure to give us a good once over before I put it back in the other vehicle. But yeah, it's pretty much it. I'll obviously make another video of how to install it. It'll be everything, you know, in reverse order, you know, put it back in this. I'd say the hardest thing to probably get to was really the exhaust was a little challenging. Of course, you know, it's going to be rusty, but I guess that was probably the most, I don't know, probably the hardest. Of course, you know, I'm trying to explain things to, you know, people that, you know, if I have to tell you how to take sensors off, then you probably shouldn't be doing this job, really. But, you know, you got to learn somewhere, and I respect that. So I'm here to help the little guys, because I was a little guy once. I still am pretty well, but I get by myself most of the time. But yeah, enough rambling on. The engine is out, and time to pick tools up and call it a day. See you guys.